Imagine looking up at the night sky and seeing lights twinkling on the moon, evidence of cities, transportation networks, and bustling communities. What if humans could live on the moon? It sounds like pure science fiction, but with recent advances in space exploration, it's not as impossible as it once seemed. Let's dive into what it would mean for humanity if the moon became habitable and what life could look like on our closest celestial neighbor. First, let's talk about the challenges. The moon has no breathable atmosphere, no liquid water, and extreme temperatures that range from boiling hot during the day to freezing cold at night. But what if we could overcome these obstacles? Scientists are already exploring ideas like terraforming, which involves altering a planet or moon to make it more Earth-like. While terraforming the moon may be far-fetched, there are other ways to make it habitable. Domed habitats could be constructed to shield us from the harsh environment. These giant glass-like structures could house entire cities, equipped with oxygen generators, temperature control systems, and artificial gravity. Solar power stations could provide endless energy, while water could be extracted from lunar ice found in craters at the moon's poles. With advancements in 3D printing, we could use lunar soil, or regolith, to build these habitats, essentially creating homes from the very surface of the moon. But what would life actually be like living there? Living on the moon would mean adapting to a completely different lifestyle. Days on the moon last about 29 Earth days, so daylight would last for 2 weeks, followed by 2 weeks of darkness. Artificial lighting would be crucial to maintain a normal cycle, and we'd likely have to create artificial time schedules to keep our circadian rhythms intact. Your day might last for 12 Earth hours, but outside, the sun wouldn't rise or set for weeks at a time. With gravity only about 1/6 of Earth's, simple activities like walking or lifting objects would feel totally different. Sports and recreation would change dramatically. Imagine playing a sport where you can jump 6 times higher than normal or float slowly through the air like an astronaut. Living on the moon might even give rise to new forms of entertainment, sports, and cultural practices that Earthbound humans couldn't imagine. As for work, space exploration and scientific research would be at the forefront of society on the moon. Lunar mining could extract valuable resources like helium-3, a potential fuel for nuclear fusion, making the moon an essential hub for future energy sources on Earth. Additionally, the moon would be a launch pad for deeper space exploration. Its low gravity and lack of atmosphere would make it the perfect place to build spacecraft for missions to Mars and beyond. Social and cultural impact. Imagine how society would evolve with humans living both on Earth and on the moon. The moon could become a symbol of human unity, a place where people from different countries collaborate to explore the universe. But there could also be tensions. Who would control the moon's resources? Would lunar cities belong to specific nations, or would the moon be governed by international laws? These are questions we'd need to answer before establishing a permanent presence there. Life on the moon would also challenge our concept of what it means to be human. Could living in such a radically different environment create a new culture entirely? Perhaps lunar inhabitants, after generations, would develop distinct traditions, languages, or even physical characteristics due to the moon's lower gravity and unique conditions. Environmental and ethical considerations. As we envision a future on the moon, we also have to consider the environmental and ethical challenges. Colonizing the moon could lead to the overexploitation of its resources, turning it into a place ravaged by human activity, much like parts of Earth. There are ethical questions about whether we should treat celestial bodies with the same care we're trying to extend to Earth now, in terms of sustainability and preservation. Could we balance exploration with conservation? Would we be responsible stewards of the moon, or would we make the same mistakes we've made on Earth, extracting resources at the expense of the environment? What would it mean for humanity? Ultimately, making the moon habitable would represent a new chapter in human evolution. It would redefine what it means to be human, as we'd become not just earthbound creatures, but a multi-planetary species. Living on the moon would push us to innovate in ways we've never dreamed of, creating new technologies, social structures, and philosophies. It could open the door to further exploration of our solar system, paving the way for human settlements on Mars or even the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. More importantly, it would challenge us to think about our place in the universe. By living on another celestial body, we'd gain a new perspective on Earth itself. The moon, visible from almost every part of the world, could become a shared symbol of human progress, unity, and curiosity. So, what if the moon became habitable? It would revolutionize science, society, and our understanding of the universe. But it would also require us to rethink how we interact with nature, technology, and each other. The moon, once the domain of myth and fantasy, could become the foundation for humanity's future in space. What do you think? Would you live on the moon if given the chance? What challenges do you think humanity would face in making it a reality? Let me know in the comments.